order under the Trump administration.
It does go against a lot of the principles.
Designating English as the official language of the U.S., our D.C. bureau is live. March takeover at the nation's capital.
And I know damn well we're going to make it through this.
Following President Trump's tweet towards ending drag shows. Crews battling intense flames.
30-mile-an-hour winds are going to keep pushing this 2-mile-wide blaze.
While dealing with dry conditions. And celebrating International Women's Day.
Art, you can learn about life and the passion that all these women share.
An exhibition of art and workshops. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Jason Harrell.
And I'm Anthony Cruz. Today is March 10th, 2025.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Community is concerned after a recent action by the Trump administration. President Trump signed an executive order declaring English as the official language of the United States. And while Trump argues that this move will promote unity in the country, millions of Americans who speak other languages worry about its potential implications.
We now go live to our D.C. bureau reporter David Lascano, who is in the nation's capital with reactions to the order. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Jason and Anthony. I want to show you guys what might soon become a relic of the past, a Spanish written sign. This is the first time in the nation's history that an official language has been designated at a federal level. And with 43 million Spanish speakers in the U.S., concerns are rising within immigrant communities.
hablo español. من فارسی حرف میزنم.
I speak Spanish and English.
The answer to the question of whether this individual spoke another language other than English. About 68 million residents speak more than one language, and data from the U.S. Census Bureau shows that 350 languages are spoken in the United States. Currently, over 30 states have already recognized English as their official language.
It does go against a lot of the principles for the foundation of the U.S. If the Founding Fathers had thought to make English the official language, they would have done so. But everyone came from different countries, they all spoke different languages, and that's always been the history and the culture of the U.S.
The new order reverses a Clinton-era mandate that required federal agencies and recipients of federal funding to provide language assistance to non-English speakers. While agencies can keep their current language services, they now can decide whether or not to continue offering documents and services in languages other than English.
And it's a huge barrier to access to justice for those people who don't speak English as a first language.
In the wake of President Trump's order, many Hispanic Americans are voicing concerns about the erasure of their contributions to the nation's history and culture.
I feel very disappointed because our clients mainly speak Spanish. How can I deny our culture? We work just like everyone else, and we do the best we can, and it seems unfair for the president to do this.
K-12 schools are still required to help English learners even with this national designation in place. And while no lawsuits have been filed as of yet, experts expect potential legal challenges due to the controversial nature of this order. Reporting live from Washington, D.C. for Caplin News, I'm David Lascano.
Secret Service personnel shot an armed man outside of the White House. It happened Sunday morning after the agency was informed of a suicidal individual who's traveling from D.C. to Indiana. Agents saw a man matching his description and approached his car.
As officers approached, the individual brandished a firearm, at which time an armed encounter ensued and Secret Service personnel discharged their service weapons.
The person was taken to the hospital, but his condition remains unknown. The Secret Service said no agents were injured.
And following President Trump's recent cancellation of queer shows at the Kennedy Center, transgender advocates marched for justice. Our D.C. reporter Rafael Hernandez has more on the story.
Members of the LGBTQ+ and drag communities showed up here at the Kennedy Center to show off their pride and protest President Donald Trump's self-appointment as chairman of the organization's board.
Our art is not a crime. Say it with me. Our art is not a crime.
The March for Drag gathered as a response to Trump's removal of the Kennedy Center's previous executive board, replacing them with his own appointees and heading the organization himself. His new board includes Fox News personalities Laura Ingraham and Maria Bartiromo. On his social media site Truth Social, Donald Trump wrote that no more drag shows or anti-American propaganda will play at the Kennedy Center, saying it was time for a golden age of American arts and culture. Hundreds of protesters gathered at a park about half a mile away and marched to the Kennedy Center. Local drag performers and other guest speakers emphasize their goal of restoring queer shows and other performances to the center, which they say should not be used for political purposes.
Queer people have existed since the beginning of time, and I know damn well we're going to make it through this stronger than ever. I hope that, we can utilize and sustain this momentum past a Donald Trump presidency. No matter if it's a Democrat or Republican in the White House, we know our community is under attack, so we need to stand up, fight back.
Since Donald Trump's revamp of the board began, the Kennedy Center has faced over 20 show cancellations, including hit musical Hamilton and performances by actress Issa Rae. Reporting from the Kennedy Center, I'm Rafael Hernandez.
The State Department announced Secretary of State Marco Rubio will meet with his Ukraine counterparts. Starting today through Wednesday, March 12th, Marco will be in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. While there, he will also meet Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed to discuss ways to strengthen the U.S.-Saudi relationship. This will hopefully advance the president's goal to end the Russia-Ukraine war.
And this morning, a 17-year-old was arrested for threatening to shoot up a Florida high school. Yesterday, police were sent an anonymous message about a video of a potential gunman threatening a school near Orlando. According to police, multiple guns, vests, and other alarming items were seen in the video. They quickly identified the person on camera, arresting the teen and taking him into custody in his home. At the moment, it is not confirmed if these are the same weapons on the video. The teen was charged, though, with intimidation for written or electronic threats to conduct a mass shooting or an act of terrorism.
An investigation into a possible arson is underway this morning after firefighters battled brush fires in Long Island that prompted a state of emergency. As Alicia Reed with WCBC reports, more than 90 different fire departments and the National Guard are trying to fan the flames.
The wildfire continues to burn in Suffolk County. The wind, a big problem for firefighters.
30-mile-an-hour winds are going to keep pushing this 2-mile-wide blaze toward Quogue. We have almost 80 fire departments and EMS departments here on the ground.
It started around 1 p.m. in Center Moriches and quickly moved east. The fire crossed the road at West Hampton near Gabreski Airport, and officials are keeping an eye out to see if the airbase needs to be evacuated.
It jumped the road north to Gabreski Airport and all the woods around there. This is something that we're going to have to watch probably over the next few days.
County officials say one firefighter is hospitalized with burns to the face, and 2 commercial structures have been partially burned. Choppers have been dropping water to quell the fire.
Blackhawk is able to dump 660 gallons of water, so that's part of why we've been able to get some control. But again, the control we have right now may not hold, and that is what we're focusing on the overnight.
Governor Kathy Hochul has issued a state of emergency. Air quality in the area is compromised. The governor says 100,000 N95 masks will be shipped first thing in the morning, and state resources are on standby if needed.
We are very concerned about the overnight and the increase of winds again tomorrow.
Fire officials say this is a coordinated effort to make sure it doesn't turn into a repeat of the 1995 Sunrise wildfire that scorched several thousand acres, turning into the largest mutual aid fire in the state's history. Alicia Reed, CBS News, New York.
NASA calling on fans to help them with an upcoming project.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
Family where I was raised only by women. I didn't know that this activity was here today.
An art exhibit celebrating International Women's Month. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
To get to know each other.
On a deeper level. Father.
Cosplayer.
Mentor.
Actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together.
And discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
A showcase in South Florida honoring women. March is International Women's Month, celebrating the creativity, strength, and impact of women around the world.
As Caplin's Laura Iglesias reports, a special art exhibit shines light on female artists, showcasing powerful works that explore themes of empowerment and resilience.
I'm here at the Doral Cultural Arts Center, where an incredible exhibit is showcasing the work of women artists for International Women's Month. March is International Women's Month, a time to honor the achievements and contributions of women. Right here in Doral, a special exhibit is putting female artists in the spotlight through their artwork. This year's exhibit features a diverse collection of works from women artists across different backgrounds.
Come from a family where I was raised only by women. I didn't know that this activity was here today, but it was really incredible to find it and see that through art you can learn about life and the passion that all these women share.
From striking paintings to thought-provoking sculptures, each piece tells a unique story, exploring themes of empowerment, identity, and women's bodies. We spoke with exhibit employee Raquel on her thoughts about the artwork.
There are some that I love, especially the one from Lanley, for example, with blue circles, similar to Earth. I think it's beautiful. All the artists have their special touch, and I think it's worth to come and see them in this exhibit.
The exhibit is more than just an art display. The Doral Cultural Arts Center also hosted events throughout the weekend to honor the occasion, including a painting class motivated by professional lifestyle coaches.
That they're accessible for people, so that it's a free event and you get to see people that you usually don't get to meet just because of work or whatever it may be, but you interact with other people that are in your community that you usually don't, and see things that we're usually not exposed to, because honestly I hadn't come to the cultural center before.
This has been an opportunity to not only celebrate International Women's Month, but to recognize the lasting impact that women continue to make in the world of art. Reporting from Doral, I'm Laura Iglesias for Caplin News.
NASA is calling on all creators who are fans of space to design the next zero-gravity indicator that will be launched aboard the next moon spacecraft. The zero-gravity indicator is a small plushie that helps visually determine once a spacecraft reaches space. About 25 finalists will be chosen, but one design is going to be made and picked as the official moon mascot. It will be for Artemis 2 test flight. The deadline to submit is May 27th.
And that's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Anthony Cruz.
And I'm Jason Herrick. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.